What's up, everyone? How's it going? I think we have a couple people here so far. So just gonna wait here for a second for everyone to get into the stream. Can everyone hear me? I don't know. I think I need to use this. Give me a thumbs up and chat if you guys can hear me. So big day in the market today. Thank you guys for hitting the like button too. I appreciate that. Okay, sweet. Thank you, M. John and Near Tan. Thank you. So big day in the market today. We saw a lot of green, so I want to talk about that. It's been a good day to be an EV investor. It's been it's been good for a lot of companies here. So yeah, we're going to talk about SPCE. They just came out with their earnings. They didn't have great earnings, but we don't really care about that as SPE investors. As long as we don't see that they're delaying the test flights any longer or anything like that, I think we're going to be good there. So we'll go through that. I still have to work on trying to mirror my screen now that I have a little bit more time. Now that I'm full-time on YouTube, I can figure that out one of these days. But yeah, I did a video earlier today on my dividend investing portfolio that I talk about, and we were up a lot in that portfolio today. We had two stocks that were up over 12%, one that finished 16 or 17% up on the day, Innovative Industrial Properties. Then we had another one that was up 13, Qualcomm. So yeah, it was good. Do you think that SPCE can touch $25 in November? I mean, yeah, I think that with these stocks, they can go up dramatically. I mean, you can look at Workhorse for an example. It goes up and goes down significantly. It can be cut in half or it can double in a couple weeks. So SPCE the same way. If they do another test flight, if they have some good news that comes out or something, it could definitely go up to 25, no problem. You think Virgin Galactic is a terrible investment? Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's very speculative, right? So if they can do a tenth of what they want to do, the stock's going to go up massively. It's going to go up a lot. But if they can't actually get done what they want to get done, if they can't commercialize spaceflight, if they can't do point-to-point travel, then it's going to be tough. Hi, Tom. I just want to say hi back there. Yeah, supersonic flight is the future. Yeah, a lot of people will pay a lot of money to get places just a couple hours sooner. Yeah. Nano dimensions. Yeah, let me see. So I've been looking at nano stock that ARK holds, and I didn't see them go up this much today. Last time I looked at them, they were only up a couple percent, but man, yeah, 28% up on the day. Crazy. I mean, they're a penny stock, so there's some risk there, but there's risk with every stock, I guess. But yeah, actually, just a lot of growth there recently. Get into the stock market. Yep. I am doing well. Barrett, nice to see you in the chat. So check out Vuzi. What do you think will happen to Workhorse stock if Biden wins? I think investors don't really care that much with Workhorse. I mean, as long as we get the USPS contract, I think that's the main thing. The volatility is high in Workhorse no matter what. So we see 8 to 15% swings even with nothing really going on. So someone can come out and say that they're shorting the stock and it can go down 10%, or they can get some other contract or something and it could go up a lot. Yeah, so SPCE, we'll get into that now. If you guys go to their website, I still have to figure out how to mirror my screen and stuff, but if you go to their website, you can see in their investor section that they came out with their earnings. So they're doing their conference call here around 5, but they have their investor update. So essentially what happened was they had an earnings miss of about 7 cents. So they're expected to lose about 26 cents a share. They lost 34 cents. They have a lot of cash on the sidelines now. So the first part of their presentation is just them going through like their updates, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the financials, they have a lot of cash sitting around now. So I just have to pull it up here a second. They have 742 million in cash and cash equivalents. Now, this is compared to 360 million in June. So they've over doubled it. They did lose a significant amount of money, but we kind of knew this was going to happen. I mean, you don't expect Virgin Galactic to make money anytime soon. They had a net loss of about 77 million as opposed to 63 million last quarter, which a lot of people expected them to lose even more because of the shutdown still. And they are still pushed back on some different stuff. And right now they're trying to progress a lot, and that's pretty expensive for them. So they've been spending a lot of money. So I think as long as they stay on schedule for their next test flights, I think that's the main thing. I don't really care how much they earn or not. I mean, it would have been nice to see them lose a little less money, but that's not really important that much in the long term. If we look at what their stock is doing today, they were up 0.3% during the market hours and then 2% after market hours. So people are reacting pretty good to this. I mean, it's at $19.56 now. It's been, let's see, I think it's up on the week. Yeah, it's up about 6% on the week. But yeah, a lot of people were looking at this just to make sure that nothing bad came out of the earnings. And I think that's true. Nothing really, there's not been any red flags, and I haven't read this as much as I'm going to, but I think that that's a good sign. Now, they do have a second spaceship here that they say. Let's see what else they have in this. So in November, they're doing their first space flight from Spaceport America. So they are saying it's going to be November. I'll probably make an update on this tomorrow, actually, but they are saying November now, generating revenue from NASA payloads. So they are putting on there some different things that will collect information from NASA to actually get some revenue for the company a little bit. I don't know exactly how much that will actually matter because I don't know how much NASA is going to pay them for that. Then in Q1 of 2021, they're expecting their second space flight from New Mexico. And then they're going to have 4 employees in the cabin along with 2 pilots, not just the 2 pilots like they are in this next flight. And then they are also going to have in Q1 2021, they're saying their third space flight, they're going to have 2 pilots plus passengers in the cabin. And they are going to have Sir Richard Branson in the first space flight. So that is all in the next 5 months or so, they're saying. Now, we'll see if that actually happens or if it'll be pushed back. Again, I'm probably going to do a video on this here soon because there's a lot of information here, and it is pretty exciting to see them just giving a little bit more guidance. I think that's probably why people are, why the stock is up right now, why people are seeing this as a good thing, because they are giving more guidance that they're not pushing back that timeline at all. So I missed out on some of the comments here. Let's see. NIO overvalued at $40. I don't know. It's one of those companies where it's valued really high for what it does and for the earnings, but there is a lot of growth ahead of it. And I just did a video on it recently and talked about how they are a little bit more expensive if you look at them just compared to Tesla and their deliveries. Like their value per delivery is a little bit less. They cost more, but they have so much growth potential in front of them because they are so much smaller than Tesla still, that if they can continue to grow, and since they are really only in China right now, they could expand. All right. Yeah, and they have been pretty quiet. SPCE has been pretty quiet. No real updates except for what we saw today, just reiterating the fact that they're not pushing back. How big of a drop am I expecting over the next few days? I don't really expect that much of a drop. I mean, we could see one in the market just because you can always see a drop happening. It always can happen. But I think that people are pretty happy with how the election went. I think uncertainty plays a big factor in it. So I don't know if Trump came out ahead, if we would be seeing the same bull market, but I wouldn't have really expected everyone to react so well to Biden being in the lead right now. So it's kind of interesting to see that happen. So Robbie, thank you for appreciating the dividend series. Yeah, it's going to be awesome to look back in 5 to 10 years when we have massive amounts of dividends coming in. So for everyone that doesn't know, we do $100 a week in that series. I did a video last week, and in case you didn't see that, the thumbnail looked a little bit different. So definitely check that out if you missed that and you're following the dividend series. If you guys don't all mind, before I continue to answer questions, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. I see 26 likes and 96 people here, so I think we can up that a little bit. So hold calls on NEO or cash in. I don't do any options trading, so I'm not the best person to ask about that. Any information on Square? I haven't been keeping up with Square. I don't own Square, so I haven't really seen what they've been reporting. I think they had earnings coming up or something though soon, or they did just have them. I'm not sure. Will there follow big corrections as the market has been green for nearly a whole week? I mean, there could be, but we never know. I mean, I think a lot of people, like I said, are just feeling better about the elections, but if we start to shut down or something like that again, I could definitely see there being a little bit of a pullback. You could see Workhorse hitting $40 a share in December. Yeah, I could see that too. Honestly, a lot of people sold out of Workhorse, but nothing bad has happened to Workhorse. They just are waiting longer for the USPS contract. So I could see them going up to $40 a share too. A lot of people were buying in when they were $30 a share, and there was no news on the USPS contract either. So I think that we could definitely see a little bit of a boost there around the end of the year. Good afternoon, Edwin. Damien, I appreciate the donation. Thank you. Any thoughts on FSR? Looks tempting. Let me look what that is exactly. Is that Fisker? Yeah, that's Fisker. So I haven't looked into Fisker too much, honestly. It's been back and forth though a little bit. It hasn't really taken off like the rest of the EV stocks. I apologize because I haven't really looked at it too much. I know that's in the EV space, but yeah, that's one that I haven't been really paying attention to. And for everyone that does want to know, so I always do these videos when I'm buying stocks. I actually bought Ride stock, Lordstown Motors stock recently, so I did buy that today. I just bought a few shares, not a lot, but I haven't bought it before, and it's pretty cheap right now. Okay. SPCE, very high risk stock, very high reward stock. Yeah, so I didn't see someone asking me about Ride stock, but yeah, I did buy it. Do I think NEO will pull back after earnings? I don't know. It's tough because they've been increasing their deliveries pretty much every month. I have to look when NEO earnings are, but I mean, just over the last week, it's been up so much. So I think they report. Is it next week? I think I don't know, but they've been up. Let's see how much over the last 5 days. They have gone from $31 a share to 42. They're up about 35%. On the month, they are up 105%. So yeah, I mean they are just crazy on a tear. I bought into them just because I felt finally comfortable with it, and I missed the boat a little bit, but I'm still up 10% or something like that in the one day that I've held it. So obviously it can go back down, but do I think Biden will win? I mean, it looks like it from the numbers right now. Did they announce the date of the test flight for SPCE or Virgin Galactic? No, they have not. They just said November though. So I mean, that's in the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is good. I think that the stock's going to go up a lot when they actually announce it. Yeah, so NIL hold under 30. Square crushed earnings. Oh, Square crushed earnings. Planet 13 was up a lot today. So maybe let me know in the comments what stocks you held today that were over 10%. So There were so many stocks that I hold that were up over 10% today. I'll tell you mine in a second. Let's see. What about SPE? I've thought about buying them. I have not bought them yet though. Alibaba, massive player over in China, but I have not bought them yet. Where my biggest positions, Facebook is my biggest position. And then let's see, what's my second? Workhorse is up there, but I don't know if since they've been down a little bit, I haven't been they're not my largest position anymore or anything. Oh, wow. You have 13,000 shares. Yeah, you're welcome for making those videos on Workhorse. I like them. I like making them. I hold a good position in Workhorse too. So I like to keep people's heads on straight when everyone freaks out about the stock. I mean, of course, it could go down to $5 a share, but we haven't seen anything that would cause me to think that we're not getting the USPS contract. And if we do, I think it's going to go up a lot. So it's just a question of how much risk, how much reward do you want? Solo was up 22%. You had that. Nice. Someone made a lot of money on Square. Nice plug. Lee and Xpeng. I don't have either of those, but Ride and CLSK. So a lot of people were up big today. Nice. Come on, USPS. Yep. So I have to look into SROC and Momentous. I feel bad because everyone's asking me about these stocks, and a lot of them I haven't looked at. Like I make videos on the ones I look at, and since I update so much on a lot of stocks, like a couple stocks I update a lot, those are the ones I focus on the most. Now I just started full time on YouTube this week, so I'll have more time just to go out and like look at other stocks. I haven't had that much time honestly this week because I've been setting up a lot of stuff with my accountant and with my lawyer and the bank and stuff like that. So just to make everything like fully official. So I've been doing that a lot this week. Okay, let's see. What stocks did I have that were up today? So I have too many positions, honestly. I have like 20 stocks, maybe 20 individual stocks. But let's take a look. So I own Neo up about 13% today. I hold Workhorse, they're up about 7%. I hold Virgin Galactic and they're up about 9% or so right now. Let's see what else. I don't hold Scorpio, but I did for a while. They were actually up pretty big today too. I hold Lordstown now too, and they're up 8% today. I hold Planet 13 and they were up 9%. I hold Tesla, they were up 4%, not that much there. What else? So I hold Facebook, they were up like 10% yesterday. Facebook was up huge. Qualcomm was up 13% today. They beat earnings. They make the 5G chips in the new smartphone, and they pay a dividend too. They're in my dividend series, but they were up 13%. I hold Innovative Industrial Properties, which is a medical, well, let's say MJ REIT. So obviously I can't say certain things on YouTube. So they are a REIT. If you want to look them up, IIPR, they pay a nice dividend and have been growing a lot. They were up 17% today. I first got them with some like free stock on SoFi a year ago, and they're at $70 a share. I bought a lot too during the pandemic when I think they touched down to like $50 a share, and I picked them up then. Some bank stocks, I have some smaller bank stocks, like actually Comerica Bank, a regional bank in Michigan, was up 7% today. They're up 8 or 9% a couple days ago. So I'm up on them, and I think those are the positions I'm up the most in today. So I hold a lot of smaller positions in stocks that I just want to like dip my toes into, but let's see. I'll actually tell you guys some of my bigger positions and see what we're up on those because most of my money is in M1. So SRAC is a goodie. Yeah, last mile space delivery. So I think Workhorse does probably know if they got the contract or not. So something that happened a while ago was that they put in the job opportunity for 200, or that job description for 200 new employees. I think a lot of people are forgetting that. And honestly, I need to keep in my mind too, because sometimes I forget that that's a very large number of people to hire if you don't have a large contract. I mean, even if you just hired them for a little bit, that wouldn't really make sense. I mean, that'd be very expensive, unless you had a lot of money coming in, flowing in. So, I mean, I guess they could have done that like just just in case, or maybe they could just try to pump up the stock for some reason, but that wouldn't really make sense. I feel like that would put them under a lot of pressure. Um, and that would be very bad for the company if they did that. So I feel like that's a really good sign that they were looking to hire 200 new employees and pretty much triple their workforce. So what do and I have not talked about the upcoming Workhorse earnings. So I think we'll probably see us lose money. So I think we'll see us lose money. I think people will kind of be looking to see how much money we lost. If they're providing any guidance or any clues, I'm definitely going to do a video on it, because I think that there's probably going to be something that's in that gives us some kind of forward outlook for what to look forward to, because they've talked about how they are looking to make contracts with other companies. They're looking to network and get money and get contracts from other companies besides USPS. They said that they basically are looking with every company that you can imagine. They're trying to get contracts with them. So I think that hopefully we'll see something there. Hopefully we'll get a good idea of their cash position now and see maybe why they were hiring 200 new employees. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so Benjamin's asking, was I scared to quit my day job and do this full time? Kind of. I mean, it was something that's kind of risky. I mean, I was getting paid pretty well, for where I live, at least like $50,000 a year. So maybe where you guys are, that's nothing. But I live in the Midwest. You can live comfortably on that. And it was a pretty easy job, pretty good hours, a lot of PTO, a lot of benefits. So uh, it wasn't a job though that I couldn't get back. I left on a good note. I could always go somewhere else and get that same position, but I make a lot more on YouTube. I want to do this full time. I was really running myself ragged. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was going to work at 7, well, waking up at 7, going to work at 8, 8:30, working until 7 o'clock at night, getting home at 7:30, working on YouTube for 4 or 5 hours, getting dinner in between when my videos were uploading and downloading for the coming day, and then going to bed around midnight or 2 a.m. or something like that some nights. So I was not sleeping a lot. I was probably putting in 80-hour weeks, and that just was too much. So I wanted to do this and be able to give you guys the newest news, the most up-to-date news as possible. So I wanted to do that. So I think that's going to be good. But yeah, there's some risk in just moving away from a steady 9 to 5 job. So let's talk about my largest position. So on M1 Finance, I haven't done a portfolio review in a while, but I might do that soon. So we'll see. But my largest position in my Roth portfolio is just a index fund. Next is Facebook. I hold about $2,000 in that. Let's see what my cost basis is. My average share cost is 178 a share. It's up to 295 today. And it's only my cost basis is only that high because I still bought some when we were at 220 because I felt like it was a good investment still. I thought it was a good price. So I had started buying around 150 or something like that. Next is Tesla in this portfolio. So this might not be my second biggest individual holding because I only hold Tesla in this portfolio and I hold other stocks and other portfolios too. But they are $438 now. I paid $170 for Tesla. The next one is Foot Locker. I'm up pretty big in them too. I'm up like what? My average share price is $22.50, and now they're $38 a share. And I've gotten some dividends too. Innovative Industrial Properties is my next one in here, and it might be my best return besides Tesla. So I bought for $70 a share. It's 156 right now. If you want to see this, it's kind of crazy. Everything's probably backwards. Yeah, it is. But it's just been up over 100%, 105%. Plus, I get dividends from them, and they paid some fat dividends. So that's pretty cool. Where do I think that will open and close tomorrow? It's so hard to tell. I mean, the stock market's been green all week, so it could go either way. Okay, what was my job title? I was a retail personal banker. So I helped people open up accounts, uh, help people apply for loans, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Hyliion bounced 30% 2 days in a row. I think it was just because of the general market and just the EV market in general. I haven't seen really any Hyliion news. I think they had some contracts though that they came out with like a week ago, but I could be wrong. I haven't. I only hold one share of Hyliion, so I don't pay as much attention to it as some other stocks. When did I have time to trade? So I'm guessing you're talking about when I was still employed full time. I don't day trade or anything like that. So I mean, I had time during the day to like keep up on the stock market and to buy and sell stocks if I needed to. But I pretty much just set my buy orders. With WeBull, I do buy during the day. And then with M1 Finance, you have to put in your orders before the day starts. So that I kind of changed it up depending on what app I was using. I am 25 years old. So 25 years old, been out of college for about 2.5 or 3 years. Thank you for everyone that's wishing me luck on my channel. I appreciate that. I've not looked at T-Mobile. Let's see. How many shares of Workhorse am I holding? So I've talked about this the whole time. I don't have a ton of shares. For me, it's 3 to 5% of my portfolio is about 5% for a while, just because I believe in it, but I don't hold a ton of any one stock. Um, I I am pretty risk averse, even when I'm investing in risky stocks. Like I don't think I could put 10% or more than 10% of my portfolio in a stock and feel comfortable with it, maybe with Facebook or Berkshire Hathaway or something like that. But with Workhorse, I hold about 57 shares. If you guys want to know what I hold, you can like specifically and more often, you can join the Patreon. If anyone asks me in there, I always send them whatever I have. And I tell them all the things that I buy all the time too, all the different stocks. Do I think SPCE is going to keep rising or fall off? I think it's going to keep rising. I think as they go along, assuming they don't have something bad that happens in one of their test flights, I think they'll continue to rise because everyone that's invested in it, or most of the people, I think most of the people are long-term investors. Obviously, though, there are short-term investors, but you are really betting on you're really risky if you are betting on SPCE in the short term because I mean it something could happen and it could go down 30 or 40%. So that's kind of crazy if you're betting on it over the next week or something. So I think long term, as long as you wait through when they have test flights and assuming they go well, I think the stock's going to go up. Is there a reason that Virgin Galactic is rising? Yes, they came out with their earnings. So I was just talking about this earlier at the beginning of the stream here. They're up about 8%, but I mean a lot of stocks are up 8% today. CLSK, I don't know who they are off the top of my head. Let's see. Clean Spark. So probably another EV stock. I have not looked them up before. Okay. Trevor, what's up? How's it going? Trevor Hassel's in the house. I had not seen SPCE's flight crash. I didn't know about that a couple years ago. Can I do a small video about my Patreon? I have done one. No one I mean, I don't know if anyone really watched it. Oh, Vincent, what's up? How's it going? Vince Chan in the house too. Uh, so I've talked about my Patreon. I talk about more just like at the beginning and ends of videos, but I do tell everyone what I'm buying and selling. I mean, I only buy 2 or 3 times a week usually once, maybe once for the spec stocks or growth stocks, and then once for dividend stocks. But then we talk about investments in there too. The highest tier is $20 a month, but I'm doing like small group calls. So if you have questions, it's really hard to answer like in the comment section, especially because I get a lot of comments. So it's hard to go real in depth. But I have 3 people now. They're in that tier of the Patreon, and it's going to be like twice a month for half an hour each time. So I'm like last call, I talked to someone for 25 minutes about like their business, what they're trying to do, what they're doing with their investments, what they're looking to do when they're looking to retire, that kind of stuff. John's in the house on borrowed time. Yes, thank you. You're in the house too. I love it. These are all other YouTubers. If you're wondering why I'm saying this, they're all other YouTubers I talk to really regularly. So, what do I think about Upwork? So I need to do more research on Upwork. The thing that I know that I need to do more research on Upwork because ARK has been buying them and has a pretty big position in them. I think I've seen that they've been buying a lot of Upwork in a lot of their portfolios. Could I look into MGen, potentially a Forex stock? Um, Possibly. I haven't heard about them before. Possibilities of Workhorse getting the USPS contract. Do I think Workhorse will get all of it or part of it? Well, your guess is as good as mine at this point, but based on everything I know, and don't quote me on this because I don't have a crystal ball, I think that they will get a portion of the contract. I don't think they'll get the whole thing based on what USPS has said. They're not looking to give any one company the whole contract, and it makes sense because if that company can't fulfill the contract and it takes them a while to tell USPS that, that's going to be terrible for USPS because USPS literally has cars and trucks that are bursting into flames. So, I mean, you can look it up. They have trucks that are bursting into flames. So, if they get set back another year or something like that, they can't afford that. So, they're gonna have a couple different companies I think that are fulfilling this contract, and then hopefully Workhorse will get a portion of that. I think that they probably will. They are the only EV company on that list. So I think that that's probably a good thing. I heard one of them was EV, but one of the other companies had EV, but I don't know if that's actually the case. What do I think the future holds for Nikola? Nothing good. I mean, I'm kidding a little bit, but how big is Nikola? That's my question. Okay, Nikola's market cap 7.55 billion. They've gone down in market cap a ton from their highs of what were they at? Their 52-week high was $94 a share. I'm not saying I told anyone so or anything like that, but I did a video. One of my first videos of June when I first became monetized was on why I don't like Nikola and why it's not the next Tesla. And I think that they are severely overvalued, even where they are now, because they have nothing. They're a $8 billion company that has nothing but drawings. So, I mean, kind of a strong statement, I guess. But man, they they've gotten a lot of people to believe in them for a company that doesn't really have anything. Qualcomm was up huge today. Yes, Qualcomm was up huge, and I am very glad. I literally talked about them yesterday in a video that got like no views, and they did really well. Oh, conference call is live. So Trevor, if you want to tell me about how that's going, I would love that. I might actually play it if you guys want to hear it. Yeah, Bitcoin has been up a lot, so I might be playing it here. Maybe I'll play it while we're on the call. That was my plan originally, was just to play it, but then I realized that they came out with a lot of their earnings and stuff before that. So let's see if I can get this to pull up, and we'll listen in on together for a minute. Okay.
provide an update on reopening sales.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
We'll provide detail regarding our Q3 financial performance. With that, let's get started with a summary of our Q3 accomplishments beginning on slide 4.
Can you guys hear this? Do you actually care about this? Let me know.
Despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic, we accomplished many milestones this quarter across the company. We made good progress preparing our space flight system for our fall flight, including completion of data analysis that followed the June 25th glide flight and installing the cabin camera system and the hardware needed to provide live video downlink.
Can you guys hear? Some people are saying yes, no.
Astronaut exclusive training facility at Spaceport America. And we also made solid progress on our second spaceship in preparation for rollout, including application of thermal protection system on the wing and the fuselage, progress on systems installation, and successful completion of pilot simulator evaluations. I'll share more about our second spaceship later in the call. We continue to advance our efforts around high-speed point-to-point travel in Q3, and I'm very excited by the team's early work and also by the long-term market opportunity within the hypersonic space. While we won't be covering high speed during this earnings call, we will accumulate our progress and bring a deeper dive discussion to one of our future earnings calls. Turning to slide 5, I'd like to speak to some of the impacts we are continuing to experience on our operations and our fleet production due to COVID-19. As you might imagine, building spaceships during a pandemic is materially less efficient than normal. Our team members, though, have been simply incredible, and everyone has stepped up.
So maybe I will listen to this afterwards, and maybe I'll do a video on it later. But I feel like that's going to be a long call, so I might just have to recap that for you guys. We were listening to the SPCE call. I already went over their earnings, though, so that is the major, SPCE Q3 earnings live stream. So technically, it's still correct because I did go over their earnings at the beginning of the video. So essentially, they grew their cash. They doubled it this quarter, and they lost a little bit more money than analyst expectations. They were planning on them losing about 26 to 27 cents a share. They lost about 34 cents a share. So not terrible, but not exactly what we want to see. We want to see them lose as little as possible, but a lot of people don't really care in the short term about what they are earning or not, because we're not looking at it for the short term. Will NEO reveal their new 100 kilowatt battery tomorrow? I don't know. If they do, the stock is going to go up, I believe. And if they do, I bought in at a good time. So let's talk about some stocks that are actually a good value right now. I mean, this is kind of on the spot because I wasn't planning on it, but let me know what you guys think are good values right now, because a lot of these EV stocks are still down pretty big. So I bought Ride recently. I bought Lordstown Motors. I also bought NEO, which is obviously not cheap compared to where it's been. Facebook is pretty expensive right now. Walt Disney, I think, is one of those sleeper stocks. MJ stocks to the moon with Biden, like Planet 13. I have Planet 13. I mean, what was I saying? Walt Disney, I think, is a sleeper stock, and I've heard other people talk about this. It is essentially a streaming stock that everyone still values, or a lot of people still value as like a retail stock, or a hospitality stock. All their money was coming from parks, but now it is going to come from streaming. I mean, they have 60 million subscriptions, and I think they're coming out with earnings here soon too. I need to come up with a calendar for all of these earnings coming out. But they are coming out with, and I think, November 12th, a lot of different companies are coming out with them then. So I think they are going to focus on streaming more. They've said that. And if they keep the dividend cut and reinvest into their streaming, that's going to be so good for the company. I mean, I don't love it as someone that has put them in a dividend investing portfolio, but man, they have a lot of potential there in their streaming service. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. Do I think NEO is overvalued? Kind of. I mean, it's one of those stocks, though, that it's always going to be overvalued. Kind of like Amazon, right? Or Tesla. If you're not okay with investing in a company that is very expensive, then you're just never going to be able to buy into it because it's always going to be expensive. And I could be wrong. It could be the next, I don't know, some stock that went down. I was going to say next Nikola, but they actually are selling vehicles. So, I mean, it could be a stock that goes down, but I see it as one of those companies that's just going to be expensive for a long time. And it's going to continue to be expensive. And some people are going to say, oh, no, it's too expensive to buy. And then it doubles. And then, oh, no, it's too expensive to buy. And that doubles. And then that continues. So yeah, I could see that being a issue for a lot of people that want to buy but don't want to buy. If you guys like this too, if you don't mind hitting the like button, we're up to 68 likes and we have 136 people watching. After 2 months, Workhorse at $50 could be. Okay, Amazon is scary, huh? CCL, RCL, DAL. You bought all those in the lows. Great for the long-term investment. Yeah, I bought a lot of those too. I bought CCL. I bought RCL. I sold RCL though. I bought Delta also. I didn't buy Boeing. That would have been a good company to buy. So I think a lot of REITs were really good to buy, honestly, and at the lows. Then like midsummer, a lot of the EVs, or early summer, a lot of the EVs were really good to buy. A lot of the bigger companies were really good to buy this year too, around the lows. Top 3 long-term growth stocks. Depends how speculative I want to be. SPCE, I think, has more growth, more spec than just about anyone. Neo's up there too. That's not as speculative, but Workhorse too. But if I'm going with safer stocks, probably Facebook. Planet 13 is really risky too, but I like them. Let's see who else. Qualcomm is good for the short term, but they're not really a long-term growth stock, I guess. Disney, I think, is a good pick. And I'm just looking at my portfolios here. Tesla, I think, has a lot of room to grow too. I think those are all good companies. Get 80 shares of Neo, maybe. Why did I sell RCL? Just because I don't remember what I bought with them, but I just sold out of them because they were at one point they looked pretty grim based on what was happening. So I did sell them actually. I think I might put it into Carnival Cruise Lines or Facebook. Disney bought it 90 to 102. Now it's 125. That was a good buy. Okay. Yeah, Workhorse is so volatile. Was up 10% pre-market, then finished 7% down. Yeah, it's very volatile. Even when nothing happens, it's very volatile. Okay, so any questions for me? I'm gonna probably end this here in about 5 minutes or so. What do I think of NNDM? I'm gonna have to look them up more. I mean, I've been wanting to look them up. I just haven't had time this week based on a couple things I had to do. Walmart and Target are awesome too. Yeah, very safe stocks pretty much. Do I do all my own research? Yes, I do all my own research. I mean, I am part of like another group of YouTubers that are investing YouTubers, but we don't really share analysis or anything like that. Thoughts on Upwork? So they shot up 40% today. I didn't see that. I need to look at them though, because ARK owns a lot of them, but I haven't looked at them honestly too much. I'll have to check that out later tonight. What stocks do I hold my largest positions in? I answered that earlier, but Facebook, Tesla, IIPR, now that they're up so much today. Look at Momentous and SROC. Okay, I have to do that too. You like live? Okay, well, thank you. Expat. Thank you for enjoying the videos. Workhorse Board of Governors meeting scheduled for 13th of November. Interesting. Yeah, so someone's talking about Fastly here. Logan Fisher, another YouTuber friend of mine, was just telling me about Fastly. He owns a significant amount in Fastly and was telling me that I should definitely take a look at them. How many shares of Workhorse do I have? I talked about this earlier, but I hold about 57 shares, so not a ton. I've been pretty clear about that I don't have a ton of it. I mean, it was more before my portfolio, but they've obviously been down recently. But I could definitely see myself buying more. The thing is, though, I'm pretty risk averse, really, honestly, as an investor. Like, this is a very speculative play, and it's maybe 3 to 5% of my portfolio. But actually, I have a new investment that I haven't told you guys about at all, and it's a collectible technically. Best financial YouTubers. So I've done a video on that before, actually, but there are a lot of YouTubers I like that do finance. But anyways, the collectible, Logan Fisher. So he is someone that I've talked about on the channel a lot. He is another YouTuber. If you guys want, you can like search him right now. Not right now, after the video, but he does sports card investing. So he has a significant portion of these sports cards. So I'm not going to give any numbers because I haven't talked to him about it too much. But he has done a lot of sports card investing, and he's made massive returns, like more than anyone except for maybe someone that put all their money in Neo this year or Tesla. But he's gotten huge returns. Like, I'm talking multiple 100% returns over the year. And I started investing. We were doing like a little group effort in sports cards. So he actually lives near me here in Michigan, and he is helping me invest in some sports cards. That's pretty speculative too, but it's a large enough amount that it's actually worth doing, but not too much that I'm really worried if we did take like a 60% hit or something. So I'm really excited about that. I might actually have him on a video here. I've talked to him about it and have him explain sports card investing, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's becoming really popular to invest in cards right now. A lot of big YouTubers like Graham Stephan, like Logan Paul, and like some other YouTubers too have done a lot on like Pokemon card investing, which I have not done. Logan is helping me with sports cards, like basketball cards specifically, and I played basketball, so I have a general idea of it. But it is quite an interesting thing, and it's pretty speculative. But it's run kind of more like a business than just like investing in something, because there are certain ways that you can buy the cards. You have to go ship them in and get them rated, and then you can sell them for a certain percent return. It's kind of interesting because you can haggle with people on price too. What do I think of cybersecurity ETFs for long-term holds? I've not looked into it. Does anyone else have collectibles here? I'd be curious. Like, if you have, like, I mean, maybe you don't want to say if you have real gold or something like that, but does anyone have like art or wine or cards or anything like that they invest in? I'd be curious. Let me know in the chat here. But we'll be on here for about 2 more minutes. Okay. Any other questions? So let me know if you guys want me to do some kind of portfolio update where I go through all my different stocks, all my different alternative investments, because I do have some other investments too that are kind of interesting, I think. Do I think Biden getting the election will be better for Workhorse? Possibly. I mean, if you just consider like long term, right? So typically Democrats try to push more green friendly business. So they typically try to regulate more and make the environment a little bit cleaner. So for Workhorse, that's probably better for them long term. Oh, Martin, you have 200,000 in sports cards? That's impressive. Damien, you also have baseball cards. Nice. Someone wanted to invest in wine, but they drank it all. Yeah, I hear that. Uh, I would do that with whiskey or beer. Ben, you have a collection of sports cards, hundreds of thousands. Nice. I also used to have a coin collection. They weren't like super expensive coins. Some of them were like old dollar coins from the late 1800s. And I did sell that off actually to help repay my student loans a while ago. But yeah, those were kind of interesting. I had like 50 of those, and they're worth like $20 to $30 each. And I had some other ones too that were pretty cool. I actually have one. I have a coin that has my last name on it. My family was from Germany originally, and we are part of like a big bathroom company, like a factory. And they had like a coin that I found in an old collection that was from Germany, which was kind of interesting. It has like our like bathroom factory that our family used to own. I don't know anyone that lives there. And my family moved over here to America like late 1800s, I want to say, but it's kind of interesting. How was earnings? SPCE lost money, but not as much as I mean, more than we expected, but not like terrible. Okay, so yeah, thanks, Ben. The family coin is pretty cool. Yeah, they wanted to buy it because it's like it's a large metal coin. So that coin company saw it and they wanted to buy it. And I looked at it and I was like, I had no idea I even had this. So when I sold those other coins, they wanted it, and I said no. They wanted to buy it for like $50 or something. And I was like, it's not worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. A little bit all over the place, but I probably am planning on coming out with an SPCE video. Probably also a ride video because I did buy them today, and talking about why I'm doing that. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's all going to come in the next couple days. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want to see. I mean, I'm always up for suggestions. It's hard when there are a lot of individual stocks because I only have so much time and so many videos I can make. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for hitting the like button. Also, if you guys want, there is a link down. I have to say it. There is a link down to WeBull down below. They're a partner of mine, and you get 3 free stocks right now. They're doing this, I think, through mid-November. So if you want that, you can check it out. Deposit $100. They are gonna add Bitcoin, I believe, or crypto, so you can start buying that soon too on their platform. But I am one of the first people to take a look at that. I actually got access early to that, so I have to check it out. Yeah, so you joined the M1 portfolio too. If you guys want that too, there's a link down there too. That helps the channel a lot too. But yeah, I love the dividend series too. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.